Is that better? Can you hear me now? Hi Melanie, hi Tracy, hi Joe, hi Nola, hi Karen, hi Hazel, and anyone else that's joining in. Sorry about that, I didn't take myself off mute. How are you? It's absolutely boiling here. Me and Natasha are melting in our little office, but I can't complain because the sun is shining and that's a good thing, right? It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Oh, glad you can hear me now, all right? Lovely. So today's plan is to show you the new Happy Vibes collection. It's a relatively small collection because we've got something absolutely massive coming up next month, which you're going to love. So loads of news on that. Hi Gemma, hi Margaret, hi Natasha. So Natasha's here and she will keep an eye on the comments, so if I do miss a question or anything like that. But it is really lovely to see you all. It has been too long, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's been a bit manic here. We've had lots of events. I've had COVID. We've had lots of other things that are coming up that we've been working on as well. So it has been pretty nuts. But I hope you're all well. I hope you're all well. Are you coping with the heat? Let me know what you're doing. Are you having to work through this? Hi Cleo as well. Or are you managing to keep it cool? Ah, thank you Tracy. Thank you. I'm feeling fighting fit now. Probably I feel better after COVID than I did before, if I'm honest. But yeah, I will show you the new stuff, which I briefly popped on Facebook for you. But before that, let me tell you about what's coming up in August, because it's our first anniversary, our first birthday as Clay Manning Creative. Oh, Nola, you've had it too. It's not very nice, is it? Well, I think it was, because they wouldn't give me a PCR test, so I think so. So yeah, it's our first birthday coming up. Officially, that will be the 3rd of August. I'm actually going to do the birthday release. Let me just double check the date for you so I don't tell you. That's Wednesday. I'm going to do it on the 5th, on the Friday. So Friday the 5th of August. I'll update you on the time, but there will be a nice big YouTube, loads of fun stuff going on. There should be some things going on all month. That doesn't necessarily mean new products all the time for you for the whole month, because I know that's, it's not feasible, is it, money-wise and things like that. But there will be fun stuff going on, whether it's demos, whether it's new product releases, whether it's something interactive, competitions, things like that. I plan to make it a bumper month for you for supporting us for the last year. The first year in any business is the hardest, and we've made it, so let's keep the ball rolling and hopefully it'll be the start of another fun year of loads of stuff. Hi Lisa. Tracy says, way too hot for me, fed up of getting zero sleep. That's it, isn't it? It's so hard to sleep. Who else said it was too hot? Was that you, Margaret? Yeah, so it might, I think it's going to get hotter before it gets cooler, isn't it? Right then, I'm going to switch cameras and I'm going to show you, actually no, let's hold them up. So, because the August release will be a bit bigger than normal, I've done this one slightly smaller, so I'm not completely skinning you out. So we've got 2 A6 stamp sets. This one is Life is Good, and centres around daisy chains was the idea behind it. So you've got 2 different size daisies there, and then you've got these kind of sketchy wreaths, and can you see they're not like perfect circles? So I thought you can build up your daisies round the wreaths. You can have them inside because I've made them fit, and you've also got a tiny little other flower on there. Joe, can you check your messages? Yes, no problem. Hi Lise, how are you? I've missed all you guys too, I really have. And then we've got a lovely sketchy font for Life is Good, the big U stamp, and Happy Vibes as the little one. So we're going to definitely do something with that during today's show. And then this I'm absolutely in love with. This is a one big background stamp that is leafy, and it's kind of got sketchy bits to it as well and solid bits. so it will absolutely give you different looks. Think watercolours, think of embossing. I mean, that would make a great background for any card, and to be honest, it looks great on its own just with a sentiment, but you can use for Christmas as well. That would look really nice. Maybe gold embossed on a red or a green card or something like that. Oh, no problem, Roxy. You're going to pop off and get the little one. No problem. Lovely to see you joining with us anyway. And then the other part of the collection is some new mask and stencils, and these are a little bit different. Don't drop them on the floor, sorry, excuse me. These are a little bit different, as in they're not just a solid shape that pops out, so you get the silhouette stencil like you do with a lot of our masks, mask and stencil sets, and then the mask itself of the leaves has got all the lovely holes in, so you can put all your inks and your pastes, and you'll see a lot of techniques that I've done with these over previous videos if you're new to the must-have masks collections, because they are probably the most popular products that we do. So you get that one and you get that one. So two different leaves, really nice and easy to use. I'm going to attempt to do a watercolour look with them using pens. I'm not sure whether it's going to work. I'll do that after my main card, but let's try. Also, don't heat emboss things and use heat embossing powders with your fan on, like I did earlier. Let's get Natasha to run over and say, can you turn the fan off? Because there was embossing powder everywhere. Right, I'm going to switch cameras and I'm going to show you some cards from the design team, and it was only part of the design team this time, so I apologise, we haven't got ones from Steph and Gemma Reed this time. No reason, they are still with us, but it was quite a quick turnaround, this one. And I only had a certain amount to go round. So these are from Gemma Hines, Kerry Gibson and Leanne Hodges. So let me just switch cameras. Okay, it's not quite straight, is it? Just get that out of the way. So let's have a look at the ones with the foliage background stamp. So a few of you asked, or somebody asked some questions about this one, with it being whether it would be done with paste. So this is one of Leanne's. What she's actually done is heat emboss white on acetate, but then she's used a raised like silicone glue just to give it a bit of more of a shadowy raised look. So that's really, really cool. This is a great idea. Can you see behind the black? She stamped it in blue and pink first, so it's given a kind of 3D look to it. White on, is that vellum? Or is it a thicker? Oh no, it's just an off-white card, like a white on white. That's really cool. Really classy, that, isn't it? In fact, that would make lovely wedding invitations with the right sentiment, or you know, Mr. and Mrs. or whatever on there. This is fab from Kerry. This reminds me of like a card that would be good for Pride or something. All those happy vibes. Life is good. And the cute little other flower that's in there. I don't even know what flower that was when I drew it. I know I wanted to have a daisy, and I kind of made that one up, if I'm honest. It was really pretty. This is just a card full of sunshine, isn't it? I'd defy anybody to receive a card like that Kerry's done and not smile with all that lovely colour. And that's just so easy to achieve because there's nothing complicated about that. She's just stamped a load out, coloured them in pens, cut them out and layered them up. This is a fun way to use them as well on embossed backgrounds. Can you see the texture on that? She's used our geotile stencil that we did a while ago and added on just some white embossed uncoloured card. That's a great way to get colour on your flowers, look, isn't it? Because you've got no skill to that at all. You don't need to be good at colouring or anything. You still manage to get a good colourful look. Beautiful one from Gemma Hines, who does a kind of grungy look. So she's done a layered, inky, grungy background and then just used half of the daisies with some string, and that gives a completely different look again. Yes, you're right, Nola, it's such a happy card. Natasha's done this such cute layered tag. Look. I think she got the idea from, remember the tag die that we did and we layered them up, but done it with the wreathy stamp instead. A super cute note card, some yellow daisies and some sequins. Another fab sunny card, this time from Gemma Hines. Loads of lovely splashes, and pinks and yellows are perfect for this time in the summer, aren't they? And then this is what I meant about using, these are 2 stamps. She's used them inlaid, Gemma has, exactly as they are on the packet. But let me show you. So they are separate. So you can absolutely use the wreath like we're going to do today. And you can position because you've got those separate. And there's a small one and a large one. So perfect for tags or your smaller cards or just to make smaller patterns. Hi Roxy. Another one from Kerry with our happy birthday die that everybody loves, and this one is just coloured inks layered. I love this. This is one of my favourite cards that Leanne has ever done. Leanne's normally our rainbow girl, right? But how cool is that? It's watercolour, white heat embossed, so it's resisted. I'd like to say I'll try something like that today, but I don't know whether I'd feel inferior compared to that. Beautiful one from Natasha using that wreath and building up. She's added in some wild meadow leaves that we had. So I'm going to do a kind of variation on this today. And then some more heat embossed ones with the foliage. That is just stunning, isn't it? That on the watercolour from Kerry. It's not quite gold, it's almost like coppery. And she's done a couple more. This one, she stamped it on texture card, so it's kind of opaque in some areas and not in others. It's really interesting texture. And then done it in strips, which is really cool. And then a white one over some watercolour. I reckon that background's just going to be one that you go to again and again, because for me it's kind of one that I'm already reaching for when I don't know what else to do in a background, and I think, oh well, I'll just have a play with that. So let me show you, just before I do the main card, just in case you haven't seen the masks and the stencils before. Just going to turn off that light so it's not glary. I'm just going to, I know that there might be a few new people on, so you never know. I'm just going to add some ink and show you the 2 different why masks and stencils are so good, because you get basically a 2-in-1 or a however many in one, depending on how many different ideas and ways that you can use them. But the basic way to use it, as in ink through them, immediately you've got a solid silhouette leaf shape that you could put stamp over the top. You could just put your sentiments over the top. That would make really nice autumn cards or Christmas cards, like we've used a lot of our masks. And then if you use the centerpiece, and again, I've seen some of these before out and about from other companies, but sometimes they don't include this bit for you, so I think it's a shame, otherwise it just gets thrown away in manufacturing, so you may as well have it. So this time the ink's going to be showing on the negative, and I really like the pattern of this one. And then in fact you could use the ink on that. I wouldn't waste the ink on that. I'd make sure it was covered as much as possible. Hi, Kerry. Hi, George Ketcher. Oh, it's you, Pauline. I thought it might be. I recognise that surname. So even then, the waste, if you added some water, you're going to get a completely different look again. So that's them in their most basic forms. But I know you're going to think of a zillion different ways to use them. Let me just wipe down and we'll get on with some stamping. Anyone else up to anything exciting today other than trying to keep cool? Natasha, it's trying to tell me that your comments doesn't want to be shown. Thinks you're a boss or something. That's funny. Oh dear. Oh, loads of people do emojis, don't they? So I don't understand that, but hey. Right then. So, I want to have a bit of a watercolouring background. But I'm going to do it with pens. And I've picked out a selection. I don't know whether I'm going to use all of these. I've picked out a selection from my Karin pens. And I've got some acetate. I haven't done this for a while. A bit of a smooshing. Oh, thank you, Tracy. That's so kind of you to say. Colours, colours, colours. So let me think about what I'm going to do. So I definitely want a wreath of sorts, and I want some daisies all coming around either this side or this side. And I want the U, I think, in the middle. But I want some watercolour. I don't know whether I want them just behind the daisies. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to put some colour down on this piece of acetate, just some squiggles. There's people just pinging, placing orders. Just a quick heads up. So what I'm showing you is available now on the Clay Manning Creative website. You've got 10% off if you buy any of the new ones individually, or 15% if you buy it together as the small bundle. Yeah, a lot of it went over the weekends. There isn't huge amounts left, and I know I will say just come and enjoy the demos and things like that. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up if there was anything that you wanted. And for anyone that joined late, we've got huge birthday celebrations coming up next month. So I've just put a bit of a blue, a greeny kind of tealy colour, and a pink. And I've spritzed them with my water, and let's see what that. Oh, Natasha, it really doesn't like you today. Here you go, I've approved it. Maybe it will think, bye Margaret. So straight away we've got like a watercolour background there. I'm just going to hold it and let it kind of do its thing with that loose water. And can you see I've still got some ink there? I'll show you. So the best way I find to kind of get that almost like layered watercolour look, it's not really a layer, but I don't know how else to describe it. I'm not off my heat gun. Is when you mop up what's on here, I like to dry it a bit first. You can just go straight in and mop up, but if you want a bit more definition between the times that you dip in your colour, yeah, just try that and see whether you feel that makes a difference. See what I'm... Lisa, you've not used those lovely pens yet. Can you see how it kind of sits differently when it's dry underneath, rather than just going into existing wet? But there's no right or wrong, it just depends. I want a bit more pink as well. Should I do that one or that one? That's the purple, isn't it? Why is it purple? I don't know which one I've used. Let's do a bit more pink. Try that again first. Bye, Margaret. Thank you for popping in. I'm just doing that drying in between. It sounds really simple, but it just gives that extra bit of depth. So a bit more pink. See how this looks. Yeah, and it's kind of mixing and giving some purples and some teals. I like that. I think I want to use it that way up, in fact. Still want a bit more pink. There we go. So you could add some extra splatters as well if you want, but some of it's going to get hidden behind the vellum, so I'm quite happy with how that is now, ready for stamping. So I'm going to just pop it in the stamping tool, and really simple now, I'm going to stamp that wreath just in black. So I'm going to use the bigger of the two sketchy wreaths. And I'm going to have it pretty much slap bang in the middle. Now I'm leaving the bit where the lines cross over out. And where am I going to put my daisies? That side or this side, I said? No. So I don't want those lines to get covered up. That's a bit of a feature, I think. I can't believe you haven't even used them, Lisa. I wouldn't be able to resist. The minute I get something, I'm using it straight away, especially when it comes to art and craft supplies. You have a lot of restraint. So even without as in the daisies, if you wanted like a graphic easy card, that with whatever sentiment would be really cool, wouldn't it? And I'm going to use... What should we do? Should we do Life is Good? Yeah, let's do that one. I was going to do the U, but I do really like the boldness of this Life is Good. So I've just heat embossed white and black, my absolute favourite, as you know. Oh, just to mention as well, people were asking me about stamp pockets. There's some of those back in stock as well. Not giant amounts, I must admit, but there's still plenty there if you need to top up. As always, I just do them in the 10, so you haven't got to buy a whole giant amount if you don't need to. So that's going to be our sentiment. Like I say, if that was a guy's card, a teenager's card, somebody who likes really modern, clean and fresh, that would be absolutely great as it is. Just going to pop that aside though for now while I do some daisies. This daisy reminds me of the first tattoo I ever had. It's covered up now because it wasn't particularly done very well back in the 90s, but it was a very similar daisy to this, just not as many petals and detail, which is why I didn't end up covering it. So it's underneath these roses. But when I drew it, it really reminded me of that. No, I was 16. Shouldn't have really been having tattoos at all, should I? So I'm just going in with my Wow embossing ink, and I'm going to do this a couple of times. I may as well stamp them all while I'm here, being as it's slow drying. So I'm going to have 2 big ones and 3 small daisies. I think that'll be enough. Might not even need to use all those, but I'll do them anyway. And if I don't use them on this project, I'll use them on something else, I'm sure. And I'm going to do them in white. So I'm just going to move away from this fan for a second to put the white powder on so I don't blow it all everywhere. I'll be back in one moment. There we go. So let's just heat set those, and then I'll trim around them. Does this count as my white on white, Kerry, for this week's theme on the Facebook group? Leanne tried to get away with white heat embossing on white vellum, so I'm going for it too. These sets on the top of my to-do list for the 6 weeks huddle list. Oh, getting your pens out. Good. Because they're too nice and too pretty to sit there unused. I need to get some more in actually. Apart from one small set, we're all out. So excuse the fussy cutting here, because if I wasn't live I'd be spending much more time getting this really nice, but it'll do the job. You don't want to sit here and watch me cut out for half an hour, do you? So just do it enough to for it to work. I don't want them to blow away. I've passed caring, to be honest. Wow, Karin. Wow. What about whether we stick to the theme or not? I'm so sorry. We're such rebels. Yeah, and I think it's about time we did a big giveaway, isn't it? We haven't done one for ages. So it won't be on this new stuff, but I'll have a look, see what we've got and what we've given away before and things like that, and see if we can do a good giveaway for you all. Nearly there. You know what, I think I might only need one of these big ones if I'm going to build them up together. I'm leaving a small gap here as if it was like die cut, but I'm not being too precious about it. And then I think, after we finish this one, I think we'll have time to have a bash at that watercolour technique with the stencil and masks. Because if it works, it should be a very, very quick way of getting a good effect. Right, so I've got my daisies. Let's get everything together. My sentiment, I need a card blank. And I think I'm going to use my pin flare glue for the vellum. Let's put this down with some tape. Sasha, have you got, I want to use the white sequins. Have we got any of those left on the website? Yeah, lovely. Before I use them, I just wanted to make sure that we've still got some before I tease you with something you can't have. You what, sorry? No, I've got some in here. Just have we got some packets in stock? Yeah. Because I know some of the colours were out of stock, aren't they? I can get this tape off. Oh my goodness. I think the adhesive's melting and everything. I just had a plaster melt on me earlier. That's take it off. I tried to put a plaster on my finger because my nail had split and it keeps catching. And I took it out of the packet and it basically just melted in my hand. There's a new one. I didn't think plasters could melt. Hold on, that's not quite gone on. Central. It's better. So let's do this in the middle. Oh, and my pin flare glue gel is set. Solid. I won't be using that. Here in the bin. What's going on with this weather? It's ruining all my craft stuff. So I hope you can see from this little collection that I wanted to do something like really positive, happy vibes, good vibes, almost a bit like 70s but not, still modern with it. And then I'm just kind of layering them up. As I feel like. I don't want to cover the middle of that big one because it's just too pretty. Put that one. Behind there. And then let's finish off with some sequins. 1, 2, 3. Let's grab the white glass ones. Oh, have you got some over there, Natasha? I've only got clear. Don't worry, I'll use these clear ones. But yeah, if you wanted just the plain white glossy ones.
White gloss or white matte?
White gloss, I think, is what's left, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, matte. I think we have got some gloss ones. Maybe they're in the shop. There we go. You get the idea. Pretty, but still fun and bold, and you could make that more masculine if you needed to. Fabulous. Tracy, I've had that with 2 tubes of the pin flare recently. Oh, right, okay. With it drying up. Yeah, it's literally gone solid. I can't squeeze it. No, that's so weird. I've never had that with it before, although I don't use it massively. Ah, but it does say, in fairness to it, keep it under 25 degrees, and there's no way it's under 25 degrees in here. Right then. Oh, thanks, Nola. Thanks, Joe. So let's have a bash at this. Don't kill me if this doesn't work, because it's a bit of an experiment. So I want to use the smushing again. Let's pick a couple of different colours. Let's do like the yellows and the pinks and that. I just want to wipe that down, because otherwise it'll mix with all that blue. So we've got yellow, like a peachy pink, and an orange. So I wanted this to be like the world's quickest card. So, you know, when you just knew somebody goes, have you got a card for, I don't know, a birthday or an anniversary or a thank you or anything like that. So that's just a little bit of watercolour, and that's fine, because that can be just a background. It doesn't need to be bold at this point, because you're going over the top of it with another layer on the mask part. So I need to find the mask part, which is, let's do it with the other one, the other shade, which is that. Let's dry this bit off first. Thank you, Liz. One of your pin flares did that in the cold as well. Oh God, yeah, it does say over 5. But yeah, we don't look at things like that though, to be honest. You know, I know they've covered themselves by putting it on there. So now I'm going to put some of the pen actually on the leaf part. Just squiggles. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to colour in every last millimetre, just enough squiggles. And then spritz again. Now, I could go back in upside down like that, but I've got a feeling it's going to not be as crisp an image, so I'm going to attempt to kind of flop it over and see how this works. Do you think this is going to work? I hope it will give us a ish. Let's try it and have another go. Maybe I'd put too much water. Let's try it with just the bolder colour. Yes, there will be. Yeah, no problem. In fact, that's a very good idea, Natasha. Let's. Oh, I'm back here in the morning, aren't I? So I can do that. Yep, they'll be here for you to pick up. Right, I'm going to try that. Just a couple of little light spritzes, and let's see if that makes a difference. Rather than a lot when you do the whole background. Still not mega impressed with that. I think I might have to play around with that technique and see how I can get it working a little bit better. It's not terrible, but it's not as crisp as I imagined it would be. But like I say, it was a bit of a bonus one. It just popped into my head last night in bed, and I thought I'll try it. Yeah, not major impressed, but we shall see. But anyway, let me just pop to the other camera and I can say goodbye. Oops. Hi. So, let's have a look at what we've done. So just as a reminder, so that's the Life is Good, the one with the daisies and things like that. And the foliage background one is the background that's got leaves, and then the 2 different masks on there. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you as well for tuning back in with me, because I know it has been a little while, and it's been It's been a tough and hectic few months, if I'm honest, and I'm hoping things are starting to chill out a bit now, and we've got absolutely tons planned. So onwards and upwards to another year of Claire Manning Creative, or what will be Claire Fleetwood Creative, going back to my maiden name, so that you will see that change over logos and packaging and things like that. But obviously it's that's a more difficult thing to change than I anticipated, to be honest. I hope you enjoyed the card. I will put a photo on as well on social, so you can check out if you want to kind of recreate something similar. But thank you again for joining in with me. I'll try and keep doing... No, I'm not going to be here for the next couple of Mondays, because I'm going away for a little while with a friend of mine. So yeah, she's invited me on her family holiday, which I'm very, very lucky to join in on. So yeah, it might be a couple more weeks before you see me again. If I can get some pre-records done by the end of the weekend and I can put those out for you, that would be lovely. But I hope you have a lovely week, and stay cool, stay hydrated, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.